What is happening about critical race theory here in Michigan?
For example, the town I live in, there's 14-year-old, 13-year-old kids that are transgenders and furries.
This clip is such a perfect encapsulation of how things have really devolved in this country over the last several years. Everything has become a culture war, and in part it's because of social media. And look, it seems a bit boomer to complain about that ruining society, but we have to acknowledge that has played a part in how partisan things have become and how these trivial issues or alleged claims of what high schoolers are doing has turned into national culture wars.
And they're in the schools, and the white people are afraid to say anything.
None of this really matters, and it certainly doesn't matter in the political arena. It shouldn't drive an election strategy, it shouldn't motivate people to take to the streets, but apparently it does. And that's because of how people's brains have been fried. You'll notice when she's talking about what's allegedly happening in schools in Michigan, these trans furries simply existing, not doing anything wrong, they're just there, and she has a problem with that. But you'll notice that she's not talking about something that she, or if she has kids, her kids have seen. She's talking about rumors she's heard.
I have a friend her friend's daughter is 14 years old, and she's afraid to even say anything to these kids.
That's because this is a hoax. This is a widely spread hoax on the right. It's happened in Nebraska, it's happened in Michigan, it's happened throughout the country. There's a hoax that kids are dressing up as furries and using litter boxes in the bathrooms. That's not true. But that has motivated a non-insubstantial part of this country, and they're getting it from the internet. They believe everything they read. That type of illiteracy that's spreading throughout the country, this credulousness on the right, has led them to believe some of the most zany conspiracy theories people could ever gin up. That's really bad for America. And look, if her full-body American flag costume and Trump accessories weren't enough of a red flag, these comments should be. Because again, this isn't true. These are internet rumors. There's a greater likelihood of a Nigerian prince wiring you millions of dollars than there is kids using litter boxes as furries in high schools. That's just how far-fetched this is.
I mean, and we have privilege. We have white privilege.
But to go back to the social media point, we've seen this from the top down. You know, Trump was addicted to Twitter. You see right-wing figures constantly consuming fringe content, and that affects their views. It impacts what they say. It certainly drives some of their fundraising strategies. You've seen how Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert have espoused conspiracy theories that they got from the internet. Marjorie Taylor Greene came out of conspiracy culture on the internet. That's how she got her start in politics. And Wendy Rogers in Arizona is doing great. She's out fundraising most candidates in her state across the entire ballot just by spreading conspiracy theories and hate rhetoric in her campaign platform. So why does this work? Why do people take to the streets for these types of things? Why are these beliefs things that people actually hold on to? And it's because they're under a constant barrage of misinfo and fringe content, because opaque proprietary algorithms by these social media companies feed it to them. These algorithms see constant engagement with the most insane types of content, and compared to a otherwise dry or banal news story, this, to that algorithm, looks more interesting. It makes no difference what the content is. They're purely designed to keep you on those platforms. So they keep feeding people more and more extreme content in hopes of keeping them on the site longer and longer. That's really detrimental when you're feeding them things like trans furries are using litter boxes in the bathroom. Because what that does is that convinces people this is true when they see it over and over again. And when you have a bigoted populace, that leads to real-world hate.
2021 is already a record year for states aiming to restrict transgender rights. The latest was last week's ban in Florida.
There have been attacks on trans kids all over this country in state legislatures. They're trying to make the mere existence of being trans illegal. Red states have turned them into public enemy number one. It's going to be an election strategy going forward. They're going to try to further marginalize trans people and get right-wingers out to the elections in spite of trans people's existence. This right-wing strategy is designed to further humiliate trans people. It's dehumanizing, it's embarrassing, it's offensive, it's gross. But it seems to be working for the right, and that's really sad. The thing is, I don't really have a lot of faith in the Democrats' response to this. You should be firm in your defense of our trans friends. But the thing is, Democrats so often govern from a position of fear. They try to appeal to decency and collegiality and hope that that works. In this political climate, that's not going to inspire people. As sad as it is, it just doesn't work. The increased polarization in this country has led to people feeling like they need to humiliate their opponent. That's sadly what drives a lot of voters now. They want to see the other side crushed. They want to see them absolutely destroyed, humiliated, owned, whatever. It's a blood sport. And at the end of the day, when people like trans kids are in the middle of that crossfire, they're the ones that get hurt.